Solving exponential equations. An exponential equation is one in which the variable appears as an exponent. To solve these, it is necessary that the bases of all the exponents be the same number. Then we are able to use exponent rules to write and solve an equation. Let's look at some examples. In this equation, the bases on both sides of the equation are the same, the number 2. Thus, the exponents must also be equal. Write an equation using just the exponents. 5x equals x plus 4. This is an easy equation to solve. Subtract x from both sides of the equation. For 4x equals 4. Divide both sides by 4. For x equals 1. To check your solution, simply fill in the value of x into the original equation. 2 to the 5 times 1 equals 2 to the 1 plus 4 power. Thus, 2 to the 5th equals 2 to the 5th. Now pause the video and try the next one yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. The bases are equal, so the exponents are equal. X plus 1 equals 3x plus 5. Subtract 3x from both sides, leaving negative 2x plus 1 equals 5. Subtract 1 from both sides, for negative 2x equals 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals negative 2. To check your answer, plug in negative 2 as a value for x. 6 to the power of negative 2 plus 1 equals 6 to the power of 3 times negative 2 plus 5, giving us 6 to the negative 1 equals 6 to the negative 1. Our answer checks out. In the next example, the bases are not the same. We need to find a base in common. 36 equals 6 squared. 216 equals 6 to the 3rd. Thus we can write 6 squared to the power of x plus 1 equals 6 to the 3rd to the power of 3x. The power of a power rule states that the power inside the parentheses must be multiplied by the power outside, giving us 2x plus 2 equals 9x, an equation we can solve. Subtract 2x from both sides of the equation, for 2 equals 7x. Divide both sides by 7, for x equals 2/7. Thus our solution is x equals 2/7. Pause the video and try the next one yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. Remember, first we need the bases to be the same. 625 can be rewritten as 5 to the 4th. 25 can be written as 5 squared. Thus we can rewrite the equation as 5 to the 4th to the power of x minus 1 equals 5 squared to the power of x. Using the power of a power rule, we multiply the powers. 4x minus 4 equals 2x. Solve by subtracting 4x from both sides, for negative 4 equals negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2, for x equals 2. Our solution then is x equals 2. Before we begin the next example, we must remember the product of powers rule that states that when we multiply the same bases, we add the exponents. Thus we can add 3x plus 1 to 2x. For 3x plus 1 plus 2x equals 2x. Now combine like terms, for 5x plus 1 equals 2x. Now subtract 5x from both sides, leaving 1 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3. Our solution then is x equals negative 1/3. Now pause the video and try the next one yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. First, notice that the bases are not all the same. They need to be the same before we begin. 36 can be replaced because 36 equals 6 squared. Now we can write 6 to the 3x times 6 to the negative x equals 6 squared. We can add the exponents of the bases that are alike on the left, for 3x minus x equals 2. This simplifies to 2x equals 2. Divide both sides by 2. Our solution is x equals 1. The next example, we will have to convert all the bases to the same base. 81 equals 9 squared. 1/9 equals 9 to the negative 1 power. Write 9 squared to the power of x minus 3 times 9 to the negative 1 to the power of 3x equals 9 squared to the power of negative 2x. Now we remember we multiply powers inside and outside the parentheses for 2x minus 6 and add powers when the bases are the same. So multiply negative 1 times 3x and add it to 2x minus 6. Now multiply 2 times negative 2x for negative 4x. Combine like terms for negative 6 minus x equals negative 4x. Add x to both sides. We now have negative 6 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3. Our solution is x equals positive 2. Now pause the video and try the last example yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. First, notice that 1/8 equals 2 to the negative 3rd power, and 4 equals 2 squared. Thus we can write 2 to the negative 3rd power raised to the negative 3x minus 1 equals 2 squared. Now use the power of a power rule to multiply. 9x plus 3 equals 2. Subtract 3 from both sides. We get 9x equals negative 1. Divide both sides by 9. We now have x equals negative 1/9. As you continue to practice this type of problem, remember to convert all bases to the same base, then use the rules of exponents to write and solve your equation. Please continue to use these notes as you complete your homework. Thank you.